Most people will tell you that Superman is the most recognizable cultural icon and has been so for nearly a century. Superman is the character that, what would Superman do? Superman would do the right thing.
Boy, the first thing that comes to mind, right off the top of my head, I'll be honest, it was just truth, justice, and the American way. That was the very first thing that I thought of. I don't know why. I don't often think of that.
You know, you say, oh, when did you first encounter Superman? And you can say, oh, in a movie or in a comic book or in a toy or animation or whatever. But the truth is, someone brought you to that. My mom painted the Superman S on my wall, and I don't know if I loved Superman or if she loved Superman. I think we both did. You really kind of share Superman with people, and that's what you do. That's a part of culture.
The thing I love about him is that he's making these choices that are ultimately really personal beliefs, that are about the things that he believes to be truth, justice, and the American way, but that are really subjective, intimate aspects of his faith. Do the thing that you think is the right thing in this particular moment right now, even if that thing is doomed to fail. Choose the right path, even if the odds against it seem impossible to surmount, even if the path itself ultimately looks like it will last only a few moments, even if it's fleeting. Do that thing you know to be right, no matter what you think the outcome is going to be.
The fact that there's somebody out there who will help someone regardless of who they are or what they stand for, he's out there to really just help save lives more than alter people's perceptions of what it is to be a hero or what they're supposed to be doing.
When I think of Superman, I think of a character that does the right thing, even if it's not the easiest thing. I think that's a thing that kids can embrace because it's so pure and innocent in a way. But as you become an adult and sort of experience real-life situations, nothing's as black and white as they seem when you're a kid. And a character like Superman provides inspiration, I think, to this notion that we can make the right decisions, we must make the right decisions, and this is a character that does that.
He's both, the mild-mannered reporter, and he's the superhero, the idol of millions. It kind of makes it very easy for kids, especially when they're of a certain age, to kind of identify with him, even though he's really, really strong, he's really powerful and all that stuff. He's got that other life where he's kind of shy, and he's got the glasses, and,
I think there's an ideal that comes with Superman that keeps him relevant, what he stands for, what he fights for. When we looked at the DC characters, every character takes on a very particular role. And we used to call Batman our policeman of the DC universe because he used to go out and patrol. But Superman's the fireman. He helps anybody in need. And I think that's something that will always be important and always resonate with any generation.
I think the S symbol is a proud badge that this is a character that embraces who he is, that he is Superman. You think back in the day, the whole notion of branding didn't exist, and so the idea of character being instantly recognizable through the primary colors and having the letter that represents his name on his chest was something that was really kind of novel and interesting and very striking.
In the most modern version of what the S means, it stands for hope. And it's the family crest of the L family, Superman's family. And as such, what they represent to the world, not just to our world. They were the family that represented hope.
Prior to that, he stood for truth, justice, and the American way. He became more of an international icon. It was just sort of shortened to truth and justice. Personally, I think he's a character that represents the goodness in humanity.
I think just like a lot of things in life, in pop culture, you just kind of absorb the character almost like through osmosis without actually, reading Superman comics or watching the TV show religiously.
I think every major creator at some point wants to tackle and tell the Superman story. It's a character that everyone knows, even if they've never read a comic book before. Everyone seems to understand that basic notion of who he is and what he represents.
The thing that makes Superman so enduring, at least for me, is that he sees the best in us. He's this character that's so much bigger and has these abilities that go so far beyond anything that we can comprehend and can go anywhere in the cosmos and do any feat, and yet he stands here inspired by us all the time and seeing the best versions of ourselves in us and has this faith in humanity and literally gives up sort of a version of himself that's bigger than us to be us all the time. You always want someone to come down who could really sort of go anywhere, be anyone, do anything, and look at you and say, I see the hero that you can be.